tonight after charges against a 16-year-old rapper accused of shooting an NYPD officer were dropped. Police say in January, Cameron Williams, known as C-Blue, allegedly shot the officer in the leg when the two struggled after he refused police orders. Williams was also on probation for a prior gun case. The officer recovered from his wound yesterday. The New York City Law Department announced Williams cannot be prosecuted without providing any further explanation. The PBA president releasing this statement, quote, "This absurd decision should outrage every New Yorker who wants to get illegal guns off our streets. There is no dispute that this individual was caught carrying an illegal gun for the second time. If perps like this face absolutely no consequences, even after shooting a cop, we have to ask, why bother sending us out to get the guns at all?"
What's good, y'all? It's Jay Coffee on the vid, tapping back in with another one, man, and y'all hear that news report. This is a crazy news story. It's getting a lot of coverage about Bronx drill rapper C-Blue, who just beat this officer-involved shooting case where this officer, Pennant, was shot back in January, as well as C-Blue himself, which in a lot of press releases and news coverage about this case, they do not mention that C-Blue was shot at all. And you heard that clip there in the beginning. Law enforcement is speaking now, and they're heated. They're mad at the judge. It's wild, right? You heard them. They're like, oh, you know, this guy has been arrested multiple times on weapons charges. He's dangerous. He shot the police. The judge throws the case out. Why do we even go out there and try? Why do we even go out there and try to take weapons off the street? And comment, y'all. Like I said, if you guys been following this case, if you're up on this rapper, surprisingly, I hadn't heard much about this, you know what I mean? But apparently this dude has a deal with Interscope Records. When he got arrested, he was able to put up a $250,000 bail. And it's nuts, man. You know, it's like, y'all ever see certain news stories? It's like news wars. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see this all the time with what? Fox News and what is it? Like MSNBC or whatever. Like, there's some whole other political-ish. But my point is like with this case, different platforms are going in, talking greasy. But, you know, some people from certain news platforms are bashing the police and saying this cop was on some flunkery. Other people are bashing the judge. It's insane, man. But you see the rapper himself, C-Blue, has also been posting, celebrating. He's also given heavy shouts out to his attorney, Dawn Florio. And you see she's posting about it as well. Like, we beat the police. You know, who are they saying? Yo, they flat out lied. And the judge actually agreed and said that this officer lied. You know, she said she reviewed the body cam footage and, you know, flat out said, like, this is a made up story. You're trying to create a narrative to fit the way you say the incident went down, right? And there is body cam footage. It's hard to obtain. I couldn't include it in the video for other reasons as well, but it's out there. But people, we already know in New York, like, they're trying to ban drill music. You guys remember that Fabio Foreign and other artists were going and meeting with the NYPD and, you know, other people from the city and saying, listen, this is art. This is the way we make money. This is the way we make, feed our families and ish like that. And it's art. It's not real. You know, the old discussion about, like, the Terminator and Schwarzenegger and ish like that, you know, like, yo, they body people in the movies. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? Because the NYPD is saying drill music needs to be banned. It heavily influences the youth. It's creating a lot of violence in the streets. All the kids growing up are impressionable and see this and they want to, you know, walk around with the strap and carry a rag and throw up a set and all that. And, you know, Fabio and other artists and everyone trying to keep this ish going is saying, yo, you can't put all that on us. But the NYPD, you know, constantly has spoke out and they're saying they 100% believe that drill is help creating this culture of violence and gun violence and gang culture and ish like that in the streets of New York. Comment with your thoughts regarding all that. But anyways, getting back to this incident, you know, he was already on probation for a weapons charge from when he was 14. This incident happens, and you know, like authorities are saying, yo, this dude's a danger. He shot police. Reportedly, what happened was this officer Pennant in January approached him saying that he was part of a disorderly crowd or a disorderly group, and you know. I went up to him, approached him. He put his hands in his pockets and wouldn't pull his hands out. I ended up having to jump on him. We had a scuffle. A weapon went off and I was shot in the leg. And again, like I said, a lot of news platforms did not mention at all that the rapper himself was struck in the groin. And in an older report where the judge was trying to not even let this case stay in criminal court, she was trying to kick it back to family court for juvenile cases. She went off basically saying that everything the cop was saying was not credible. I'm gonna read a little bit of the news here. This is from a previous report where it says a Bronx judge ruled that drill rapper C Blue should be tried as a juvenile Tuesday on charges of shooting a police officer after slamming his arresting officer for incredible and unreliable testimony that had no value. Bronx Judge Nypd Samaj said that while Cameron C. Blue Williams, 16, possessed a gun on January 18th in Belmont, there was no apparent reason for the Bronx officer and other cops to have initiated the confrontation. There was absolutely zero reason for any of these officers to approach this individual. They approached him, they detained him, they searched him, and no officer even bothered to come up with a halfway legitimate reason for any of that. And then it says, cops said the teen rapper was part of a disorderly crowd and that he refused orders to take his hands out of his pockets, leading to a scrap between him and an officer. Williams then allegedly fired a round, listen to this, through his own leg before the same bullet struck Officer Kasim Pennant in the leg. Both were hospitalized. Now, you see, guys, again, this is crazy. It's like news wars. One side's like, yo, this young man is dangerous. We got to get him off the street. Police approached him. He wouldn't listen. He stuck his hands in his pockets. You see, they said he was with the disorderly crowd. You know what I'm saying? The judge is saying, yo, that's not the least bit true from the evidence that she saw. It says, while there is no disputing the fact that Mr. Williams had a gun on him that night, he literally does everything you tell your child to do when they're approached by the cops. He literally kept his hands up. He literally tried to record to make sure that there was proof. He answered questions and had no obligation to answer. And then the judge also added that one of the officers' testimony during the hearing did not match up with video evidence. This is what the judge says. I cannot state how absolutely incredible his testimony was. It was inconsistent with the video. It was inconsistent with his fellow officer's testimony. It was self-serving. It had no value. And the judge also said prosecutors failed to demonstrate that Pennant suffered significant physical injury despite getting shot. Causing significant physical injury is one factor judges consider when determining whether to move the case as a juvenile to family court. So, like I said, this was an older report, and from my understanding, it didn't end up going back to juvenile court. I believe it stayed in criminal court, but the case is beat now. And it's wild, man. You know what I'm saying? One side is saying, yo, this judge is agenda driven and, you know, is siding with the criminal. But and then the other news platforms picking up this story are saying, yo, basically they feel these cops tried to label this young man, illegally detain him, illegally question him. And the judge believed that he, tried to do what he was supposed to do as far as being polite with the officers, record the incident. But I don't know. In the end, it's all a Rizzy. Like I said, he's beat the case. The gun charge as well. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously we know New York State has very strict gun laws. And, he definitely had a weapon on him, right? But the judge is saying, by the police not going by the book. It's kind of that, what's that old legal saying, like, it is all fruit from the poisonous tree. So because the police, the judge said from a legal standpoint, the police did not do their job correctly, none of it's good. It's all thrown out. You know what I'm saying? Based on everything that I see about this case, it seems the judge feels that they just tried to violate his civil rights more or less and get physical with him and then try to kind of create a story to back their claims. And then again, like I said, you got the police and certain news platforms saying, man, all the evidence was there, everything lined up correctly, but this judge just has their own agenda and has a history of letting off violent youth. But it's crazy in the news coverage from those platforms, you know what I mean, that are bashing the judge. All of them fail to mention that the rapper himself was also shot. And they don't mention anything that the judge says as far as, her expressing that she felt that the officers lied. You know what I mean? We're creating a story and that there was inconsistencies in the story. You know what I mean? It's wild, man. And in other news coverage of this story, you'll see all kinds of headlines, drill music needs to be banned. This rapper, was reckless and let one off and hit the police. You know what I'm saying? And then the other side covering this story says this case is unraveling. NYPD and news outlets have been trying to go in on this dude in all kinds of articles. They call him a wannabe rapper in a lot of articles. It's crazy, man. It's just a wild situation, to say the least. But nonetheless, the case is thrown out. He's free. Based on posts on his social media and whatnot, it looks like he seems to be in Florida or somewhere else. Like he might have got the fuck up out of New York. Maybe he's just on vacation, or maybe he's trying to start anew. Y'all let me know what you guys think about this case as a whole. I definitely try to do more updates on this, man. But everything has its day in court. You know what I'm saying? Because when this, you look at the initial reports in this, and you're thinking this young man is going to get buried up under the jail, that they're going to hit him with 1 million years. You know what I'm saying? Already caught with the weapon as a juvenile on probation. Now he has another gun charge and assault, attempted murder, whatever, officer shot. You're like, damn, this dude's done. This dude's cooked. It's over. Stick a fork in him. But hey, you go to court and the judge says these officers broke 1 million rules. None of this evidence is good. Case closed, more or less. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened in January, here we are in May. 4 months later, the case is deaded. And I think it helped out a lot that this attorney, again, Don Florio, was on the case. And I don't know, here we are, case dismissed. I bet you some other individuals will probably definitely look into hiring this attorney. You see, she's doing videos right now on her social media talking about what criminal conspiracy is and everything. And we know that's been the discussion as of late, criminal conspiracies and RICOs with all this YSL-ish going on. But I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about this. Again, let me know if you already knew of this story. Let me know if you know of this dude's music, if you fuck with it. Share your thoughts. He's got an interview out there. I got to go check that thing. But again, I find it crazy, though, that just a lot of news platforms were not even mentioning that he was shot as well. Because in that one that one news report where they said, yo, he shot through his own leg to hit the officer. They were saying that don't make sense. But thanks for tuning in. It's Coffee. I'll catch y'all later. Sub to the channel, hit the bell, stay tuned. More content coming, music, news, sports, and more. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.